Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Asagao Academy. So last episode, it's kinda bummer kinda type of episode. We feel like Shane's using us just to draw us as his model, but he's not even actually telling us why he wants to draw us, but we're still gonna let him draw us anyway, because whatever.
No.
You're fine as you are. Okay, cool I guess. I'll see you tomorrow morning before class. I had no idea where else we would meet, and since I knew he usually came early, it seemed like the least awkward place, neutral ground. Yeah, bring your best face.
What's up?
Hey guys, what's going on? Nothing, don't worry about it. Paul, Nick, and Josh all joined us at the table, smug smiles on their faces. Nothing, eh? Nothing. For some reason, Paul started laughing. He launched into an explanation of some kind, a petition for Shane to do more art for his campaign. You did the art for Paul's campaign pictures? Of course, who else would do it? Shane was really good at drawing. If he did those, suddenly anxiety gripped my heart. Tomorrow morning loomed large before me. I was both thrilled and terrified. I wonder how he's going to draw her. I stood in front of the classroom that morning, heart pounding. My hair was freshly washed and as nice as I could make it. My face slightly dusted with makeup, my uniform neatly pressed. It was fine. It was just a quick portrait. How bad could it be? I reached a trembling hand for the door.
Hana.
Hana?
Shane.
You're here. I am. You are. I am. Yep. We are. You guys are silly. After you. Thank you. I stepped into the classroom unconscious of the stillness in the air. Dust danced in the sunbeams cascading through the windows. Shane shut the door behind him, then walked to his seat. Ready? He gestured to a chair in front of him. Already? We're starting? Did you have something else to do? No, sorry. I crossed to the chair and sat down, stiff as a board. He pulled out a large sketchbook, flipped to a new page, then pulled out a packet of art supplies. He dug through the pencils with a critical eye, occasionally pausing, then shaking his head and moving on. It seemed kind of complicated, not to mention awkward. I had nothing to do but sit there and watch. That's like getting, your... don't even know what it's called. Your... caricature. There we go. Your caricature being done at a fair or something. You just sit there. Because I got one done with Tyler, and this guy, he just kept looking at me. He only looked at Tyler for like a couple seconds, but he just stared. Stared at me for so long. And it was kind of awkward because I kind of didn't know if I should look at him in the eye or look away. But when he finished, it was really ugly. Like, I don't know if he was just allured by my looks and he was just staring at me, just to stare at me because, it was like, oh, wow, okay, just look at me. And even his parents and his brother was like, that guy was just staring at you for a very long time. And when we were looking at his drawing, he didn't seem to draw much. He just kept staring. And I was really freaked out. I didn't really know what to do. It's kind of an awkward position to be put in. Yep. Very awkward. Just pose naturally. Naturally. Don't bother smiling or anything. Keep your body still. Still? I sat up straight, hands on my knees, and tried to iron out my expression. The last time Shane drew me, he hadn't been so particular. Stop blushing. I'm trying. Shane sketched a bit on his pad, then glanced at me again. I said stop blushing. I'm trying. I can't help it. It's obscuring the lines of your face. I can't concentrate. Yeah, well... I spun around in my chair, staring at my desk. Deep breaths, Hana. Deep breaths. Why not just draw her blushing? It's just like tint of red. You don't have to draw her head. Come on now. When I spun around to face him again, Shane was as impassive as me. I stared straight ahead and Shane began to sketch. Turn your chin to the left a little. Not your whole head. Shane, my chin is connected to my head. I can't move on without moving the other. It was a little awkward. Shane wasn't good at expressing what he wanted. I wasn't good at understanding what he meant. Tilt your head slightly. I tilted my head and he nodded, turning back to his paper. I like the sound of, art. I've been trying to draw more and it's just turning into poop. This was weird. We weren't talking outside of him giving me orders, and I was afraid to move my mouth for fear of messing up his drawing. Also, my nose itched. I started to squirm, my legs tossing to and fro because they were the only body part I could actually move. Shane glanced pointedly at my legs, and I stopped. When he turned back to his paper, he glanced at me again. I'm not great at this. At drawing? Wait, am I allowed to talk? I already did your mouth, just don't move your head. Easier said than done. I've seen your other work though, you're good. Shane's paintings were up in the hallways along with other students, not to mention a few comic pages he showed me. Portraits needed personality to them, to the faces. He put his pencil down and turned to me. Apparently this information was so important it required a full break of his concentration. I smirked. The Mona Lisa is so expertly painted, you can feel the emotion and character of the model. That's why it's a classic. I had no experience with art, but thinking back to the portrait, I nodded. It always seemed kind of boring to me, but that makes sense. Shane glared at me again, but this time it didn't feel so heated. It felt almost affectionate. Your face is good. In the drawing, I mean. Oh, thanks. It's just, you have so much light to your form, it's hard. He went back to his sketchbook, not board, putting a hand to his chin. Should I try something else? No, this is on me. I've never been good at capturing emotions. Shane looked so troubled, so serious, but the problem made so much sense that I almost burst into laughter. I clapped a hand over my mouth, trying to cover my laugh with a severe fake coughing fit. Don't lose your pose. Sorry, spit caught in my throat. Yep. Haven't you done portraits before? Yes. That's not what I meant. I desperately wanted to glare at him, but I wasn't supposed to move my face. Instead, I channeled the annoyance into my eyes, trying to shoot him with an imaginary laser. I made a short comic once in England about a girl named Emma, her adventures and the funny things she did. I got some laughs, but I wasn't getting the right feeling. The right feeling?
I don't know.
You don't know? Alright. I thought I would get better with practice, my skills improved, but not the emotion. Before I came here, I lost all motivation. I was about to make a comment, but something in Shane's face made me stop. He seemed pensive or sad. You can move. I'm mostly done. I finally slouched, pushing my face around. It was so nice to be able to move. My muscles felt weird after holding them still for so long. Wait, how long have I technically been able to move? Not important. He chuckled, leaning so close to the paper that I couldn't see his face. Maybe I just like looking at you.
What?
You what? I'm done. He rolled his shoulder, leaning back for a better view of the page. Despite saying he was done, he continued scanning the drawing, eyes narrowed. How does it look? I tried a peek at the sketchbook and Shane immediately shifted over to block my line of sight. Hey! He glanced at me, then at the portrait. It's not very good, but it's my face. Please, can I see it? Shane turned to me, face set as if to tell me off, but when he saw my eagerness, he hesitated. Then he sighed. Don't laugh. He picked up his sketchbook, held it in his hands for a brief second, then turned it to face me. What I saw almost left me breathless. It was me. Of course it was me, I expected that. But this... Shane, I knew Shane was good, but I didn't expect this. Shane's face fell as I tried to figure out some way to describe it. I know the eyes are weird. I'm thinking of adding more shading. No, it's great. Wonderful. A small smile tugged at Shane's cheek. He put a hand to try to hide it, but it was obvious. Right.
Shane.
You're so talented. I want to see your comic now. Do you still have copies? I threw most of them away. It wasn't that good. You should start again. I lost motivation. I had trouble with expressions. You can use my face. I said it before. I even realized what I was offering. He looked intently at me, then glanced at his sketch. She does kind of look like you. Really? What was her name again? Emma. You two are alike, now that I think about it.
Really?
We are? You both get excited at that drop of a hat. At the drop of a hat. Oh! Hold that face. He pulled a notebook from his backpack and lifted a pencil to the page. I stared at him in confusion. Wait, hold that face instead. His pencil skittered across the page. I wonder whether Shane's lack of skill with expression was because he hadn't observed enough of them, or because his own range of expression was so concentrated. You drawing a comic? Not yet. 15 seconds later, Shane paused, and he went back to his sketch, snickering. You're good. He smiled at me, a real bona fide, genuine Shane smile. He was actually having fun. I was taken aback. His eyes dropped to the page again, and his smile fell. With a tisk, he broke the page out and crumbled it in his hands. What happened? Did you mess up? Remain silent. What happened? It's nothing, don't worry about it. I thought it was nothing, but he didn't want to talk about it. I dropped it. Shane shoved the paper into his pocket. Maybe it's too cute. He wanted to keep it to himself. I don't know. Thank you. He put away his supplies, gingerly picking up the portrait. I need to drop this off. Without further ado, Shane stood and left the room, the portrait held out in front of him so as not to smudge by his sleeve. I watched as the door shut, still sitting next to his desk. It was such an abrupt mood change. What happened? I crossed to my side of the room, pulling out a book. There was still time left before class, so I had to make good use of it. Okay, we're good with that. But as I tried to read, I found my mind drifting. I liked Shane. Sure, he was rough around the edges, but deep down he seemed like a good guy, and kind of a lonely guy. I wanted to do something nice for him after all. He was still so far from home. I knew how hard it was to miss your family. What could I do? I don't know. What could we do? Oh, chapter 3. Oh, he's blushing. And he's smiling at the same time.
Hey!
Hello? May, do you know how to make crumpets? I leaned back in the what? Crumpets? Is that like a dessert or is that bread? I'm not quite sure. I leaned back in the chair and made eye contact with Mai, who was sitting on her bed.
Really?
Crumpets? Are you really expecting a visit from the queen? Close. They're for Shane. Oh, good idea.
Bingo.
Stereotypically English and nice sentiment. Maybe that's just what he needs. Yeah, he's been kind of talking about England a lot. I think he misses it more than he lets on. Is that a weird thing to do? Well, maybe, but you're obviously just trying to think of him. No one in their right mind would get mad at that. Mine nodded. Also, I don't know. I don't know how to make crumpets. Oh, I'll look it up. Thanks. Whoa. You're going to make them by yourself? Yeah. Don't you remember what happened last time? Let me come this time. Mine jumped off her bed instead of using the ladder. She pointed to the door, a hand on her hip. I'm in a baking mood today. I'd appreciate the help. I could use a second set of eyes. Maybe then I wouldn't mistake soy sauce for vanilla. Oh, that would suck. Guess the cook, how cute. Okay, so we have to bring the yeast to life with warm water. Mai took her finger off the flour-covered cookbook and ran to the sink with a measuring cup. I was whisking together the dry ingredients, but Mai had yet to start in the wet. It's already alive, we just have to activate it. Bread is alive? Yes, until you bake it, then the yeast dies and you're left with fresh bread. Oh, that's so sad. She mixed together the milk and the water. Ready to combine?
Uh-huh.
Yep. I glanced over at the cookbook on the countertop. Okay, it says to pour it slowly and mix continuously. Oops, slowly? I glanced back at in her arms empty bowl. The ingredients were drowning. They should still be okay, right? I think so. Let's check the consistency. I stirred vigorously for a few moments, trying to make up for lost time. Finally, it evened out to a similar consistency. Kind of. Looks fine to me. I tilted my head, comparing it to the picture in the book. Yeah, it looks pretty alright. Now I let it rise for an hour. Ugh, can't we bake it already? I'm hungry. Mine, these aren't for us. I paused. No, I should get half of them. She did help me after all. I wish, but we have to let the yeast fill with bubbles. Or something. Otherwise, you'd be eating tortillas. Tortillas sounds so good right now. I checked my watch. 4:30 in the afternoon. In that case, you want to grab something while we wait?
Yay!
Yes, Hana, you're a genius. Hana, sorry. She grabbed me by the shoulders, and smiled widely. I took a few seconds to write "Do not touch" in capital letters on a sticky note, then placed it on our covered dough. I was about to follow Maya out of the room when I noticed something when I looked back. I added a "please" at the bottom of the note. That's what I tend to do also. Hana, let's go. Coming. I scooped up my backpack and followed the almost sprinting Mai out of the door and into the cafeteria. When we got back, everything was exactly where we left it. Sadly, so too were our dirty dishes. I uncovered our dough, which was pleasantly plump. Mai peeked over my shoulder. Ooh, it's like a bald head. I nodded, though I was thinking more along the lines of, well, a butt. Now we knead it, bake it. I looked over the recipe, divide it into equally sized lumps, and put them in the oven. Oh, the oven! Since we had to wait for the dough to rise, we didn't bother to preheat the oven. As I set it for the proper temperature, Mai formed balls out of dough on the table. Soon I joined her. They're so squishy. Mai tickled one like it was a kitten's chin. Then we baked them, and they were flat. Really flat. I identified with them.
Yeah!
Okay, so maybe they're not airy and light, but they still taste pretty good. She shoved a whole crumpet into her mouth, wincing slightly. It's hot. These are kind of just soft crackers. What do we do wrong? Not enough yeast? Not enough resting time? I don't know, Hana, but they're good enough for me. Crumbs spewed at the counter as she spoke. You can have all of them then. She seemed to like them more than Shane ever would. In that way, it worked out for the both of us. Her eyes lit up. Really? I'm gonna stay and make another batch. Oh, I'll help. I smiled. I hoped she would say that. My being there to catch my mistakes made me more confident. And so we started again from the beginning this time. I read the instructions exactly as they were written in the book, telling Mai exactly what to do. Okay, so how about we let it rise a second time? If one rise created air bubbles, two rises will make it twice as many bubbles, right? Yeah, let's do that. We can also let them sit longer. Good idea. I don't want to make them a third time. That's a lot of waiting though. After a few hours checking between studying sessions and meals, we were satisfied with the size of the dough ball.
Yeah!
Let's roll them up. We split the dough into half, one for each of us, and rolled them up again. Once we placed them on the tray and into the oven, I started to clean up. Mai had her head under the tables. Are you looking for something? She came up to look at me, banging her head on the edge of the table. She frowned, but otherwise had no other reaction, which was fine because I flinched enough for the both of us. You seen a plastic toy around here? What does it look like? It's a small cat. Oh, like those itty bitty kitties? Gerard collected those. Was he looking for a rare one? I haven't seen one around, but we can check. No, it's not that important. I'll just come back later. I'm not even sure it's in here. I'm going to check around the school. Want me to help? No, you need to watch the crumpets. I'll be fine.
Bye!
Good luck. Mai winked and jogged out of the room. She just left us here. Finally, it was time to get my crumpets. I opened up the oven, hands trembling. The heat fogged up my glasses, but when the condensation cleared, I saw pure beauty. They were perfectly shaped, risen, and golden brown along the edges. I was ecstatic. I pulled them out, the baked goodness wafting into my nose. We did it! Through teamwork, we achieved the impossible. Impossible for us, anyways. I set them on the countertop to cool and pulled out my phone to take a picture. Thanks for making them with me, Mai. So pretty. Can't wait to give them to Shane. Shane was bound to love them. He had to. After they cooled, I put them into a plastic container and sealed it tight. They wouldn't leave my sight until they were in Shane's hands. English crumpets done light, toasted and finely buttered. At long last, the time for delivery came. Shane was already sitting down to eat when I entered the cafeteria. Too excited to waste time, I crossed directly over to him and plumped my plastic bin in front of him.
Hello.
Hana?
Hi.
I hope you're hungry. I opened the bin and pulled out a single buttery crumpet, then unhooked the thermos of tea from my bag. I made you some crumpets. I have black tea with sugar and milk too. Shane paled and I rushed to unwrap the crumpet to show him, and showed him the unscathed surface. No, don't worry. I followed the instructions to the letter. There's no way I messed up anything. Shane looked less than convinced, but he gently took the crumpet from my hand. Maybe he felt bad for making such a big deal out of it last time. Or maybe he knew the crumpets were so basic it was almost impossible to mess them up. And this is where we're gonna stop. We're gonna figure out if he actually likes them or not. Hopefully he likes them, because we slaved over the oven for these. Like the whole day for these crumpets. But thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.